What is up, everybody? Welcome in to the time that you guys have been waiting for, the John Wall Holiday Invitational Bracket Reveal Preview Show. Miles Mastrocola, Rob Bridgers, Anthony Simmons. It's time, fellas. We're here.
Absolutely.
How excited are we for the 50th Annual Holiday Invitational, real quick?
For me, it's just a staple of North Carolina basketball. It's like the time of the year that, you know, when everybody's home and, you know, you look forward to this event every single year. So.
Bull back.
Simple. So some notes before we get into like a pretty in-depth breakdown of all the teams and everything kind of know about this event. It is back at Broughton High School in Holiday Gymnasium where the event belongs. We fully expect a packed crowd, and it's one of those unreplicatable environments that feels really, really special when you're there, and we're excited to have it back there. 4 top 15 teams, number 4, number 8, number 11, and 13 on the ESPN rankings, all playing in this event. 17 top 75 players, 3 in the top 10, including the number 1 player in 2023, DJ Wagner. 16 Division I commits. UNC, Duke, Kentucky, UCLA, USC, as in Southern Cal, Tennessee, Miami, Alabama, Auburn, Xavier, many more. So you're going to see a lot of the stars you'll be watching in March Madness beforehand at this event at Broughton, December 27th through the 30th. And we have 3 brackets this season, 2 18 brackets, 1 14 bracket. The 14 bracket is named after the all-time leading scorer for a single Holiday Invitational, Kobe White. Real quick before we get into it, how magical was Kobe White's performance at the John Wall when he pulled up?
For me, it was unbelievable because, I mean, I got a chance to watch Kobe grow from the kid he was in the 8th and 9th grade until his senior year, kind of his victory lap, and by stamping it by becoming an all-time leading scorer in the Holiday Invitational. Just a special moment to see.
Yeah, he was just absolutely special. I mean, he scored the ball on all 3 levels. He had the swagger. He had the crowd. He was in big-time games where it was high-pressure moments. He just delivered game after game.
Definitely. So the first team in this bracket, they'll be playing their first game on Tuesday, December 27th at 2 o'clock. Northwood, Pittsburgh. Drake Powell, UNC commit. They got a lot of other good players over there as well. Max Frazier, Keenan Parrish, Fred Whitaker. Powell is a uniquely gifted all-around talent. 2-way, can initiate offense, can make shots, can play above the rim. Does a lot of great things making plays for others. They've beaten Carmel Christian, Wayne Country Day. They've beaten Jordan Durham. Simmons, I want to start with you because I remember having a conversation with you about Drake Powell. What is he going to bring that will excite this crowd and not only excite the crowd but show the national stage that he's one of the best players in America?
I mean, I think it's just his versatility, right? Like, Drake Powell is a kid that he's been behind the scenes, and every time you see him, you understand that he's putting in work. Mm-hmm. I think the thing that he's added to his game was ability to shoot, to catch and shoot 3. I feel like from last season to this season, he's stepped up and gotten better in that role. And just the fact that I feel like the Carolina the commitments to Carolina giving him another level to his swagger, mm-hmm. right? Like, I think he believes he's the best player in the state of North Carolina in his class. He leads a really, really good Pittsburgh Northwood team, and their size is crazy. Like, they have the look of a traditional North Carolina high school power. That's what they look like.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. And Rod, I want you to talk about their opponent. They'll be playing First Flight High School. Our guy Chad Williams, they're making their first Holiday Invitational appearance. They've made a lot of noise around the state with the players that they've produced and the style in which they do it. Mm-hmm. What do you think they're going to bring to the field this year?
So first thing I'll say is First Flight's going to, by the time this event ends, they're going to be a crowd favorite just because of the way they play. They get up and down, they play fast, and they shoot a ton of threes. I mean, obviously they're led by the Dobie brothers, Isaac and Mason. They both get it done. They're 3-point shooters that get to the cup. A guy I want to talk about for First Flight is Eli Alt, the man in the middle. Mm-hmm. He's impressed us throughout this entire season, just being able to finish around the basket, being a solid rim protector for them as well. So First Flight's a really good team. They're going to make a deep run in the playoffs this year. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's the first round matchup in the first game of the Kobe White bracket. The next game, Panther Creek, local school. They've had a lot of great players. They're led by Shawan Robinson. Simmons, talk about what he does as a coach and kind of the pieces that they might have this year to come into this event.
Arguably one of the best coaches in North Carolina. Shawan Robinson, father was a great coach. He just gets it done on all levels. Like, right, role model number 1 for his kids. Yep. Played the game at Clemson, played on a high level. Still will cook you now. Mm-hmm. But as far as a signal caller, his X's and O's, to me, what he's known for is like he'll give you 4 or 5 different looks. His team is always on the same page. They play hard, and I think he's going to use this tournament specifically in these games to prepare them for the playoffs as they look to take another run at a state championship berth.
Definitely. Their first game will be at 8:30 on Tuesday, December 27th, 8:30 at night, and they'll be playing Camden High School out of Camden, New Jersey, featuring 2 top 5 players in America, DJ Wagner and Aaron Bradshaw, both committed to play for John Calipari at the University of Kentucky. Rod and Simmons, have y'all had a chance to see either of them in person yet?
No, I have not seen either in person.
Okay, I've seen both. I want to ask you, what are your expectations for what Bradshaw and Wagner are going to bring to the table and excite this Raleigh crowd?
This is what the John Wall Holiday Invitational is all about. Having guys in this event like DJ Wagner, the #1 player in the country. I can think back to a time when Penny Hardaway came to Ray John, Rondo. I mean, guys like that who really just took over the crowd and captivated Raleigh. I think DJ Wagner is going to be that same guy, the way he scores the ball. I mean, and make no mistake, Aaron Bradshaw as well, too, just a big-time talent as well. So this is what this tournament's all about. So I'm just excited to see those guys can compete.
Simmons, I know you're amped up to just broadcast these games. Like, what are you thinking heading into seeing Camden?
I haven't seen that, brother, but I've heard rave reviews, okay? All I know is his pop scored a hundo, okay? He looks like a clone. He's jacked up. He gets to the cup, downhill specialist, all right? Some ability to shoot a 3-ball. I just want to see him get on the fast break. Bradshaw, I heard he plays above the rim, okay?
Definitely.
I heard he's the head of security in the paint. And I'm trying to see them brackets.
So I think the craziest thing to think about with this Camden team is Wagner's like legitimate toughest competition for #1 player in the country is his teammate. Aaron Bradshaw's that good. He's 7'1". He's an off-the-dribble jump shooter. He can score from all 3 levels. He's got long arms. His best basketball is ahead of him because he's so skinny and gangly. But as he continues to add weight, this kid is literally, you look at him, you're like, that's an NBA center. He's that good. He has all the tools. And then Wagner, I don't know if I've seen a guy get to the paint as effortless as him at the high school level in all my years of watching this. It's that easy for him. So what I'm intrigued to see is if this bracket goes how we expect it to, and we get a Northwood Camden final, how does the size of Northwood impact Wagner at the basket? Do they? I don't know. We'll see. But regardless, these are 2 special players. They have great teammates around them. They have a coach that has played at a very, very high level, played against John in high school. I know Webb has filmed them. And it's going to be a show, those 2 games that they play at Holiday Gymnasium, and we can't wait to be on the call for that on hoopstatelive.com. So I'm just excited, and man, that championship game would be December 28th at 7 o'clock. So prime time at the Wall. I mean, I don't know what else you could ask for, to be real.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
And I'm sure John is happy that 2 Kentucky Wildcats are playing in this event, too. Moving on to the TJ Warren bracket. So, TJ, obviously a Hoop State legend, played at Riverside, played at Word of God, finished up at Brewster, ACC Player of the Year, NC State, Garner Road, Phoenix Suns, Brooklyn Nets, Pacers. He's as accomplished a guy that comes out of the state as we see. And this is his bracket. So, the first game in this bracket, Wednesday, December 27th at 12:30. Winston-Salem Christian is a team that has a lot of talent. They took a tough loss the other night, but they've been off to a really, really good start this year. Lewis Walker can go get a basket whenever he wants. Connie Chanda's a force in the middle. They got Big Chol down there that does a lot of different things. Simmons, I watched them the other night at Word of God when they played OTE. They're a really, really, really talented team. Coach Lowe's had a lot of success in this event with Moravian and Winston-Salem Christian, and now we'll get a chance to see them match up against the Burlington School. Jordan Marshall, new coach, has won a state championship at Henderson Collegiate. TBS is a defending 2-time state champion, and Zion Walker is a man on a mission. Rob, what you got on the Spartans?
No, with Zion Walker, man, I said it a couple of weeks ago. He's in the early conversation for Gatorade Player of the Year in the state, averaging close to 30 points a game this year. It's just putting the team on his back, not only his scoring, but his leadership. Zion's always kind of been in the background. A couple years ago with Jamari Thomas, and then even last year with guys like Avion Penner and Kenai Briggs. But now this is Zion's time to show and prove, and he's done that so far this year. This Burlington School team is really good. They have a lot of good pieces. Him and Cam flipping in the backcourt. They got the shooters. They got Stephen Lassiter as well. Then they picked up Caden Hammond as well too. So they added some size there. So no, this Burlington School team, it's business as usual there. And Coach Marshall is one of the best in the business at it. So
definitely, Simmons. How do you kind of see this matchup breaking down? I think it's one of the more interesting first-round games across all the brackets.
Oh, this is an absolute street fight.
Yeah.
Okay, absolute street fight. You said something about my shorty after the club. Put your dukes up. Okay, you got Antonio Lowe, you got George Marshall.
Yep.
You got both of those guys. Tough as they come, right? Their players are gonna play hard, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Just like their coaches. Pause. Right now, what you got is you got Zion, you got Kobe George, right? Former teammates. Extra spicy matchup out top, gonna be a little chatter, right? You got Cam, and you got a plethora of guards for Winston-Salem Christian, right?
Jake Davis,
Right.
really good defender.
Both of these teams go 8 or 9 deep, right? Down low, you have the size. You got Torrey Austin from Winston Christian. You got Mr. Cho, right? Who steps out, and you got the size for Burlington School. But ultimately, I think this game comes down to 6, 7, 8, or 9. The players that come off the bench, right? Who's going to hit threes, right? Mr. Randolph and Mr. Walker for TBS, in the games they've been really good, have hit big threes in second quarters and fourth quarters to bring them in the game or to take them over the top, right? Now, Winston-Salem Christian, we saw the other night, that was my first time getting a chance to see them play, but they have a lot of size and like the Isaiah Washingtons. You know what I'm saying? Like those guys like that can stretch the defense. I think it comes down to that. I think out of the first round games of this bracket, this is the one that could possibly be decided in the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yep, couldn't agree more. It's going to be a battle. Next game, game 2 for the TJ Warren bracket, December 28th at 3:30. The first team, Word of God Christian Academy, Raleigh's own, John Wall's own, and they have a really, really, really talented group. They've had a really tough schedule with the OTE slate. They're the first team in the history of OTE to play in the John Wall, obviously with them adding high schools. And Freddie DeLeon appears to be a man on a mission. And you also got guys like Meyer, you got guys like Isaiah Coleman, Davin Cosby. We'll see if Mekhi Grant is healthy and able to come back. Jamal Brown could be big in this event. Obviously, this is a championship or bust scenario for Word of God. They want to win a championship and defend their city. Rod, I'll start with you. How does Word of God execute in all 3 games with the talent they have at their disposal?
I think for Word of God, it's simple. For Word of God, it's got to be, you got to be conjoined together. At times this year, we know they're individually, they're as talented as any team in the country.
Yep.
But as a team together, sometimes you see they've been a little disjointed. So for Word of God to win this tournament, they got to be like this. Everybody's got to be on the same accord. I mean, it definitely starts at the top with Freddie DeLeon, committed to the University of Tennessee. Just one of the best players in the country, regardless of class. Freddie, this is the type of event tailor-made for Freddie, just because he can go off this event, and you know Kobe's records as it stands right there. Freddie's a guy who can most definitely break that record. So, well, for Word of God, they're going to need those guys to step up. They're going to need a Meyer Wall. They're going to need Davin Crosby. They're going to need Isaiah Coleman. They definitely need Mekhi as well. They're going to need that size. So it just got to be 1 through 5, 6, 7. Those guys. So they just all got to be conjoined together for me.
Simmons, Word of God's had a season of super high peaks, low valleys. It's been a very, very tough schedule for them. Do you think that's going to prepare them coming into this event?
Yeah, I think that's going to prepare them. But at the end of the day, like as far as preparation, Word of God got players.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
Players win games.
And the thing of it is like you have to match up with them, right? So like at the end of the day, I think it piggybacks off what Rod says, right? Like they have to be together and they have to be engaged defensively.
Yep.
Right? As it gets into the latter rounds of this tournament, they're playing against guys that like want to play them, that want that same spotlight, right? So like being successful or having the 20, 25, 30-point game on offense can't trump making winning plays.
Yep.
And that's what has to happen. Like the highlight, like in order for them to win, they really just got to play together. They got enough firepower. Like if DeLeon, Cosby, you know what I'm saying, had it going along with Mayor, you know what I'm saying, along with Zay, like
they're really tough to beat.
They're tough to beat. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then at the same time too is if they're able to use their speed and get out and run.
Yep.
That's when they're at their best.
When they're turning teams over and turning defense.
Yeah, that's when it gets crazy.
And they're capable of going on a 15-0 run in 3 minutes. So It's going to be interesting to see what they do. They'll be playing Raleigh Christian in the first round. They played earlier in the year. I think it was only a 12-point game. Give or take, it was between 10 and 15. Simmons, what does Coach Dave's group have that can make them a tough out in this event?
They play really hard. They shoot the tray ball. Like they shoot the tray ball. Jaquel Powell has been on one lately. You know what I'm saying? Like regardless of who he plays against, He's extremely confident right now. Coach Dave has confidence in him. And they have shooters across the board. You know, you got Nick, you got Gabe Marquise, you know what I'm saying? They got some guys that come out the bench that can stretch the defense. The thing of it is like, Riley Christian's going to play hard. They're going to play for each other. They're going to share the ball. Can they get stops? Can they rebound?
Yep. All right, so that game will be going on, Word of God, RCA, Private School Raleigh Battle, December 28th at 3:30. Right before that, December 28th at 2 o'clock, Combine Academy, currently undefeated on the season. They got a few tough games before the wall. We'll see if they can maintain that. But they have another loaded roster under Mike Wright in his first season, defending Hoop State champions. Simmons, will start with you and then go with Rod, but this is a big-time homecoming for Mr. Silas.
To the crib.
Yep. What you got?
I mean, just for Combine and what they're doing, like, right? Like, we know, right, this is Silas' first opportunity really in 2 years to come back to Raleigh and play in a tournament he's been coming to, him and his family been coming to since he was a young man. So, like, that's something that they, you know what I'm saying, that's very special to him in his heart, and I think he's going to be ready, for sure. One of the best guards in America. But for Mike Wright and those guys, like, for Trenton Flowers, who's, I think he might be, outside of DJ Wagner, the highest rated prospect in the tournament.
Outside of Wagner and Bradshaw.
Yeah, outside of both of them. You got Rakeem Passmore, also, you know what I'm saying, coming home for Mike Wright and those guys being undefeated. Like, they want to win this tournament, right? And in order to win this tournament, you know, they got to dot some I's and cross some T's. So I think Combine is coming to Raleigh ready for this experience, and they're going to leave it on the floor.
Rob, what you got?
This is gonna be, it's gonna be a really good. This is a really good team. They're currently number 13 in the country. I mean, and I think North Carolina doesn't give Combine the respect that they deserve. I mean, to be 13th in the entire country is a special thing, and they're a very special team. That they're very well coached, and they have a clear-cut leader in Silas Demery Jr. Like, in terms of leadership and what he brings to the table, how he impacts the game. There's no one better in the state than Silas Demery.
Yeah, from a leader perspective, he is mature and like just locks his guys in the one common mission. But they'll be playing Greenfield School, another great young point guard in Kobe Edwards, making his first appearance, probably of many, in the John Wall Holiday Invitational. Rod, this is a school that I know is near and dear to your heart with Jalen's time there. They have a lot of other good players. You got Micah Sherrod, who's been playing really well. Hampton Evans, who can be a mismatch guy with that inside-out skill set. Man, what do you think can they give Combine a run for the money in round one?
I think so, man. The reason I say this is because, like, the way that Greenfield spaces you out and shoots the ball. One thing I think with bigger teams like Combine, when you have a smaller team that can space you out, it can cause a problem. And we talk about Kobe Edwards since his special season he's having as a freshman. But make no mistake about Greenfield. Greenfield is they're a deep team. They have guys like Kobe. They have Matt Kirby. They have Keyshawn Atkinson, Bryson Wall, Hampton. Like, the list goes. Nick Edwards. The list goes on and on. At some point this year, we watched every one of those guys have a huge impact on the game for Greenfield. One thing about Rob Salter is one of the best coaches in this, not even on the state but in the country. Congratulations on winning number 600 for him the other night as well. He's going to have his guys to play win, lose, or draw. They're going to come out there and compete. So this is probably going to be one of the more exciting games, just because, we talk about the point guard matchup. We talk about the present with a guy like Silas Demery Jr. versus the future with a guy like Kobe Edwards. Like, you see those two going kind of head up with each other. That's going to be an intriguing matchup as well to see. So I'm looking forward to that game.
Definitely. So that game will be on Wednesday, December 28th at 2 o'clock. Now, Wednesday, December 28th at 5 o'clock, the first team in this matchup, Cannon School. Austin Swartz just had the moment of the year in the Hoop State with a ridiculous double clutch half-court winner. And they also have Isaiah Henry. They got young Birmingham. Like, they got players. And Shea Roth has been in this event before. He's had success in this event before. Rob, we'll start with you. Like, how do you think Austin Swartz can galvanize this crowd?
I mean, we talk about fan favorites. Austin Swartz is going to be at the top of that list, man. Just how he captivated the crowd in Wilson last weekend. Just his fourth quarter performance against Woodside. I think he had 21 points in the fourth quarter. Like, just the way that he goes about his game, there's nothing wasted about his game. He doesn't dribble too much. His couple dribbles, get to my spot, pull up, catch and shoot, get to the rim, and he makes the right basketball play almost every single time with the reads and things like that. I think by the end of this event, Austin Swartz is going to be box office here in Raleigh. So
definitely. Simmons, we were talking about how obviously the shot making's been a known thing with Swartz for a while. the reads he's making with the ball, combined with the shot making. You're a huge fan of his game. How excited are you to see him in an environment like this?
It's perfect timing for him.
Mm-hmm.
For where he is and for where he's trying to go, it's perfect timing for him because it's the stage. It's elevated, you know what I'm saying, for him. And the thing of it is about Schwartz is like he doesn't back down from smoke, right? By having a great John Wall, now like his name is already in rooms, but now like I think they go to the top of some boards.
Yeah,
but I think he puts himself in a situation where like some guys can make a decision, right? Because like the thing about his performance in Wilson was he manipulated the game every time he was in the game.
Yep.
Like he manipulated it, right? So because of that and the way they play, it's a gift and a curse for teams because it's like if you try to hone in on him, he passes the ball so well and they shoot the three so well. They start at 5 that like it's tough to find him. You know what I'm saying? And then when the ball comes back to his hands, he's extremely dangerous. But I think he's going to be a fan favorite.
I couldn't agree more. They will be playing Prolific Prep.
Exactly.
At Napa Valley, California. They have a loaded roster. We have a homecoming for Aiden Holloway, Trey Green, a quasi-homecoming for Mike DeWoka, who spent a year here at TBS under Coach Bernardi, who's also coming back home with his staff, who he brought guys out there. They also have arguably the best freshman in America, in Tyron Stokes, who will have a moment in this event that brings this crowd.
Oh, yeah, somebody punched on, for sure.
For sure. He's 6'7", 230, can shoot it, can handle it, can move. He might be the most talented kid in the event, period. He's got a chance to be that good. You also have guys like Zion Sensley, who's a top 60 2024 wing with size. Rod, what does this team bring to the table, and how excited are you to see that backcourt go to work in the John Wall Holiday Invitational?
Well, first of all, it's good to get those kids home, man.
Yeah.
They've had a hell of a career, and I think the best way to send them out is to have them come play in an event as prestigious as the John Wall Holiday Invitational. I mean, when you come to talk about point guards in the 2023 class, I mean, you look at the top, you see Aiden Holloway, you see Trey Green, and the fact that they're together in one backcourt, tough, man. I just the shot making ability for both. They play so well together with each other, but they both can slide off the ball and be just as effective off the ball and things like that. So, and I'm excited to see Tyron Stokes, man. I've heard things about him. I heard his name's been buzzing a lot, so I'm ready to see how he ignites the crowd.
Yeah, Simmons, what are you looking forward to about this group? And obviously that Ivis Messi too, who's a top 20 kid in the class. We didn't even mention him yet in 2024. You got Big Mike coming back, who's now committed to Miami. It's obviously a championship or bust type event for them. What do you think they're going to bring to the table?
I think it's going to be exciting. And I think it's going to be very interesting because that's what's so exciting about the first matchup, seeing Schwartz and what's the kid in the backcourt with him?
Isaiah Henry.
Yeah. Because they're hungry and want to be what Biz and Trey Green are.
And they both have a chance.
Right. You know what I'm saying? And they're both close, so it's just for Prolific to start off with that type of matchup, I think it's gonna bring the best out. Trey Green won't smoke. You know what I'm saying? Biz, he plays for stages, right? This stage, this crowd, the warm-ups, the oohs and ahs from the layups, you know what I'm saying? The 40-foot transition bombs, this is made for them. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's gonna be really, really interesting, and I think as the tournament goes on, it's gonna be fireworks for Prolific Prep.
Absolutely. So just some quick facts on this bracket, just the amount of talent in this bracket to kind of put it into perspective. 9 top 75 kids, 9 college commits, Tennessee, Miami, Auburn, Southern Cal, Alabama, Xavier, 2 kids going to college at Charleston, and another kid in Montana going to Richmond. There's going to be so much next level talent in this bracket that it's all can't miss. And it's going to be great, and we're excited for it. Moving on, the Devontae Graham bracket. Devontae Graham plays for the Pelicans. He went to Kansas, brought an alum. Seeing him give back and putting his name on a bracket in this event is awesome. So shout out to him, another Garner Road kid as well. Game 1, Tuesday, December 27th, 3:30. Holly Springs High School, a legitimate 4A state championship contender. They got Colin Cool going to Georgia Southern. They got Micah Jones in the backcourt, kind of being recruited by that low major D1, high level D2. And then they got Ryan Crotty, 6'6" shooter in the junior class that has Division I offers. They're a really good team. Either one of you, quick thoughts on Holly Springs before we move on?
They coming in there with the clip, my boy. Straight up, spray ground. What I call them, boys. They letting it fly. Okay, up from the other side of the triangle. Very excited to see them. Saw them in the fall league, a group that plays together and plays really, really hard. And young Micah won't smoke.
Yep.
He'll guard you 94 feet. You know what I'm saying? Loose ball, dive into the stands, like hard-nosed point guard. They're going to be a tough out.
What you got, Ron?
No, definitely. I'm looking forward to the moments.
Facts. I wish Colin kept his.
Yeah, he did cut it.
Cut it before the season, but they had at least 4 mullets. Now they got at least 3. So now that's gonna. I'm sure there'll be a section of the crowd that rallies around the mullets for sure.
Mullet game.
Mullet game. Their game will be against Farmville Central, which is another really intriguing first-round matchup. 4A, 2A, 2 teams that have big expectations this year. Josh Short floats above the rim whenever he wants. They have a lot of talent on that team. Rod, what you got on the Jaguars?
I love Farmville Central. I love how they let the game come to them. They don't, they make you play their style of basketball. A lot of people, say, oh, they dropped off because they lost to Quavion, lost Justin, lost Samaj. This team just went to a state championship last year, and by all accounts, should have won that game. Mm-hmm. This entire team, minus I think maybe one player, is back, and they're led by Ja. Ja's going to be somebody that's going to really ignite this crowd as well too. The thing about what beauty about Farmville Central basketball is their defense creates their offense. So far this year, they haven't shot the ball as well as they want, but this is a perfect space and opportunity for them to kind of kickstart their season by making shots. Guys like MJ Williams, Jaden Pitt, they're known shooters. Alex Moore kind of roaming out and patrolling inside. Like they're just a fun bunch to watch, man. And we know Coach Larry Williford is one of the best in the business, so he's going to have those guys ready to play. That's going to be one of the better first-round matches we'll see.
Yeah, I remember last year we had Farmville. They played Spalding, and I think it was the last game. They had some guys banged up. They sat. We got to see MJ Williams kind of take control of Simmons. What kind of elevation could MJ Williams bring to his name with a big performance in this event?
The elevation he needs. I definitely think as far as, where he stands, he's a guy that plays basketball in the state of North Carolina. And it's like, it kind of gives you that a little bit lower notch than Jamari when he was coming up that field. It's like you don't want to play against him because you know how hard he's going to play, right? Can knock down perimeter shots, can get to the cup, a lot of speed. But I think this is a very interesting matchup because it's a contrast of styles. Like Holly Springs can play really good in the half court, and they have a lot of size. Farmville lacks size. Farmville has toughness, tenacity, and speed. Right, so it's going to be like, can Farmville and Coach Larry put together a defensive masterpiece and slow them up, right, and run them off the three-point line, or can Micah Jones, is he tough enough to make the right passes to have Holly Springs spread the ball out and shoot the three? Like that's going to be the interesting matchup that whole game. So I think it's going to be good. I think the key of it is Farmville has to hit threes, and Josh Short can't get in foul trouble.
That's a great point. Next up, Game 2, December 27th on Tuesday at 6:30. Millbrook. Simmons, I'm throwing it to you right away. You know this team well. They have a lot of talent. What you got?
Colt Langdon, J.N. Walker, 2 studs. Like, this Millbrook team, I think they earned a lot of respect from all of us when we saw them play against TBS early on that ROD event, right? Like, you know what Millbrook brings to the table, right? Big time program, used to the John Wall, used to stages, you know what I'm saying? But we were like, we knew they had Colt, but we weren't for sure, right? Saw J.N. Walker come over there, some other guys. The addition of J.N. Walker and Gabe Serta's maturity, along with Jacob Lawton, has put Millbrook in a place where it's like, right,
the formula's there.
Right, like we've seen them before. You know what I'm saying? So I think this Millbrook team has a very good chance, and I think J.N. Walker, Colt Langdon could steal a lot of attention in this bracket.
Yep, they're playing against Southern Durham, so a rematch from a fall league game that was fun, and 2 guys that won a championship together on the Adidas circuit going up against one another. Jackson Heath at Southern Durham, Colt Langdon at Millbrook. Rod, what do you see from this Southern Durham team and the matchup at hand between these 2?
So for the Southern Durham team, this is the tall task for them. Obviously, having to go against Millbrook with Colt and Jay and things like that's going to be a tough matchup for them. But for everything with Southern Durham, it begins and ends with Jackson Keefe. Jackson Keefe is a do-it-all wing. He gets people shots. He finds his own shots. He plays around the rim. He had that big bucket against my alma mater the other night to win the game. Appreciate you, Jackson, for breaking my heart. But it's cool. But this is going to be a big-time matchup for Southern Durham and in a big-time environment. It's going to be interesting to see if they can rise to the occasion.
Definitely. That's going to be a fun battle, a local battle in round 1 of the Devontae Graham bracket. Game 3, Tuesday, December 27th at 5 o'clock. Don Bosco Prep coming in from New Jersey. Dylan Harper, son of Ron Harper. The bloodlines are there. He's a top 10 to 15 player in the 2024 class. Duke is heavily recruiting him. I'm sure we'll see them in attendance to watch him play. He is a uniquely gifted all-around guard with size. He can play above the rim. He has deep range on the shot. He gets other guys involved. And he's a classic kid that's going to come in to the John Wall, highly ranked, doesn't have a ton of hype around his name social media-wise, but will leave with a crowd full of people remembering his name for a long time. And they're playing Garner, who got a good win against Enloe the other night. Was starting to kind of get it rolling in the right direction. Simmons, what you got on them, and how do you kind of see this matchup shaking out?
It could be a getting alert from what you're saying with Mr. Harper. But Garner, traditional power. Gonna have the fans in the building, right? Got to make sure they step up. But I'm very interested in seeing this Don Bosco team because the way you just described Mr. Harper is he's a jack of all trades, baby. All right, so I'm trying to see that.
For sure. So that game will be Tuesday, December 27th at 5 o'clock. Now, the nightcap of round 1. Couldn't help yourself.
Nah.
Speaking of, but go ahead.
Right. Tuesday, December 28th, 8 o'clock. I think this is the nightcap. Broughton High School, the host school. Manning Lasso. I coined them last year the inside the beltline bounce bros. Because they were floating above the rim.
They had a moment last year.
They definitely did. And Manning's a really good player. But they will be taking on who I think is the best team in this event, Corona Centennial out of California, led by Duke commit Jared McCain, UCLA commit Devin Williams, and unsigned senior Mike Price, who can really play. Man, how excited are y'all to see this Corona Centennial group in this event and Jared McCain and all that he has to offer? Rob, we'll start with you.
So I've gotten a chance to watch Jared McCain multiple times between either the UIBL circuit, watching him on ESPN multiple times, just watching a lot of his games. Jared McCain, one thing you see with him every time, he's consistent.
Yes.
He's consistently good. He plays the game the right way. He shoots the cover off the ball. And he's not a me guy. As much as fame and notoriety he has, he's not a me guy. You could tell he's really a team person. And he's your quintessential Duke player. Like
100%.
He's
him and Foster at Duke
right.
is a match made in heaven.
He's going to be that guy at Duke that crowds are going to hate for however long he's at school, because I can't foresee him being there too long. But
probably 2 years.
Yeah. So, but I'm just excited to see this entire team in Centennial. They're just a fun bunch to watch, and I mean, I'm just tossing this in.
Yeah, what you got, brother?
Dumb excited, because a lot of times whenever Cali teams come to the wall, they put on.
Yes.
Right, you know what I'm saying. And the thing about this team of it is it's a complete team, right? You have a UCLA commit, you have other depth. They shoot the three. They play a fun style of basketball. So like, I'm just really excited to see Jared McCain. Because think of it, it's like he's a kid that, like Rod said, he's consistent. But I think it's consistent because of like he's 100% in shape. Like on the ball, off the ball, the speed he plays at, the efficiency he plays at. You just like, yo, like. He high level.
And if you see him in person, like, he's a big, strong.
Yeah.
He's like probably 6'3", 200 pounds, and he's mobile. He's got big, strong arms. He can play through contact, and he makes shots at an elite rate off the catch or dribble from anywhere inside a half court. We know Broughton's a shooter's gym. It could be an electric scene for him at the John Wall this year. And man, and Devin Williams ain't no joke either. The kid going to UCLA, he's an anchor in the middle. That's going to be a tough matchup for teams in this bracket. But, man, and we also get a potential second-round matchup with McCain and Harper. So that's kind of how this bracket shakes out. Just some quick facts on this event. 5 kids in the top 75, a top 10 2024, and then 4 college commits. Duke commit, UCLA commit, Georgia Southern, and New Orleans. Man, what a field we have. Before we kind of, pick some MVPs and kind of what to watch, just once you saw this field in its collective. Simmons, what was your reaction to it?
Wow. So all you can say, man, it's the 50th year of the Wall. Like, we all have memories of kids, whether it was Jerry Stackhouse, Penny Hardaway, Ron Mercer, Rajon Rondo, Tim Thomas, like, you name it, we've seen it, Harry, you know what I'm saying? Like, we've seen everybody. So to get the collective, right, to be back at Broughton, I mean, it don't get no better than this, man. I'm just excited. You know, we count down the days. We on the call. Fitz is coming in. You know what I'm saying? It's an exciting time.
That is a fact.
It's an exciting time.
Hashtag wall fits.
Yeah.
What you got on, when you saw the field, what was your reaction to it?
It took me back to being as a kid when me and my brothers used to drive up here from Wilson to Raleigh when we were in Reynolds Coliseum, and Rondo was throwing Josh Smith alleys, and my brothers jumping up, clapping, and calling by their first name like they've been best friends. Getting a chance to see Mike Miller score 50. Even local guys, I remember when Demetrius Troy broke the record for 49 points in the game. Just taking me back all these different memories. I mean, I go back to even Ryan Harrow, the first game is Millbrook. It's just all those different memories for me. So for me, for being the 50th year, being a part of this event, it's a surreal feeling, and I'm excited to get it started, man.
Yeah, no, I think for me it was just like, we haven't been at Broughton in 3 years.
It's crazy to think that.
And the last one at Broughton, like, there was so much talent in the gym. It's like, how are Webb and Bill going to replicate this? And they've done it. And that's the crazy thing. And I think for the kids in the area to be able to see the stars of tomorrow up close and personal, get them to sign their shirt, take pictures. I'm sure McCain will be making TikToks with kids. Like, that is what this is about. That's what it was about for me when I was a kid, and I'm sure for you guys too. And that's kind of the big thing, is it's back where it belongs. The people that are playing in it belong in it, and it's a blend of local, regional, national, and it's exactly what it should be every single year. And the fact that it's 50 makes it even that much more special. So that is kind of how we feel about the brackets. So now we're going to kind of take a look at what to watch. We're going to pick an in-state MVP from this event. Rod, we'll start with you.
I'm going to go Austin Swartz from Cannon School. And his team may not win the event, but I think in terms of an all-tournament team, a most outstanding player type, that's something that's tailor-made for him. He's a guy that's going to score in 3 games. He's going to score a lot of points. Yep. And he's going to have a huge impact on this event.
Simmons, in-state MVP.
Are you serious?
I know what you're going to say.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Silas Timmery Jr. Period.
To be fair, I couldn't pick him. I didn't know what to say.
Coming to the crib, move. I got all my money on the table on 5 black.
There you go. I'll go with Freddie DeLeon. I think that Freddie has a chance with their bracket. They have a chance to make it to the championship game and play against either Combine or Prolific, depending on how that one shakes out in the semis, if they're both able to get there. And I think in an environment like this, he's going to elevate and play at an elite level. And I have a feeling all 3 of those guys have a chance to end up getting as high honors as you could get in this event, playing in that bracket. All right, breakout player of the event. This could be someone that isn't well known and becomes kind of a local legend. This is someone that is well known locally, that could be kind of develop a national name for themselves. Simmons, go right ahead, my man.
Ooh, this is tough. Rod, go first.
No.
You want me to go first?
Yes.
Zion Walker. I think Zion Walker is kind of coming into his own, and I think the biggest thing we're seeing is he is embracing his identity as a basketball player. He's got flipping in the backcourt to kind of help him run the show, so it just allows Zion to go get a basket, which is something he's elite at. He's a really, really good jump shooter. He's physical. He can make a lot of plays, but for himself or others, he takes the defensive side of the game serious. And I think that this is a kid that has a few Division I offers, has a solid recruitment at this point. With 3 big games in this event, especially if they're able to get a win or 2, he can elevate his status from a recruiting standpoint to a national scale.
A little hometown bias here. I'm going to go Kobe Edwards Greenfield School.
Great pick.
And the reason I go this, I'm going to give you a comparison. 3 years ago, we watched Robert Dillingham against Leesville Road in an early afternoon game, captivate the crowd. Yep. I'm not comparing Kobe to Robert Dillingham, but
he's capable of that
type of effect of wowing the crowd. I think by the time he leaves this event, everybody in Broughton, the Holiday Invitational is going to know who Kobe Edwards is.
Definitely. Simmons, what you got?
I'm going to go, now with both of y'all explanations, I'm going to go J.N. Walker, Millbrook.
Yep.
because I'm looking at the first matchup with Southern Durham, right? That's a Colt Jackson Keefe game, right? There's going to be a lot of attention on that. I feel like he gets left out, but he's averaging anywhere from 22 to 25 points a game consistently this season, right? Then they win that possible matchup against Holly Springs. That's another game in which, when you look at who will be in front of him and the opportunities that presented, I feel like it's about him making shots.
Yep.
If he's able to make shots, there could be an all-tournament team berth for him in the future of that bracket.
Definitely. I think both those guys were guys I considered when I was figuring this out too. All right, potential game. You look at how the brackets are shaped up. What is one game that you're looking forward to seeing? Simmons, will start with you.
Prolific Combine.
Thoughts?
Been a little chat on Twitter.
Yes, there has. Yes,
Okay. Both of these brothers know each other.
Yep.
Okay. We got some exciting players in the game.
Yep.
Okay. Khakis will be worn in the game.
Yep.
Okay.
Sweater.
Let's see what happens. Okay, let's see what happens. The world wants to see it. Okay, then possibly we could get a rematch, Combine to God. We don't know. But we want to see Prolific and Combine. That's what we want to see.
Rod, thoughts on that potential game?
I mean, that's the game everybody wants to see.
Yeah,
I think.
that's why I threw it to you first.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a good pass there.
That's assuming both those teams handle their business in the first round, which I think they will. There's going to be fireworks.
Also, the ranking of it, right? I was talking to Rod on the way up here this morning, and it kind of brings back the feel of when Harry and Thon played, right? And then when you had Montverde and they played Kaminga's Patrick School, it's kind of like when the wall has the top 10, top 15 matchup, the environment, the stage, it's different. Yeah. Okay, we're going to have people tuned in. Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, I agree.
That's the one.
That's going to be fireworks if we end up getting there. Rod, what's the game that you got?
Oh man, that's a tough one. I think I look at Don Bosco Centennial. I mean, you love seeing two top 10, top 15 guys go head up, and Dylan Harper and Jared McCain. So that's probably the game I'm looking forward to seeing there too. Obviously, they're two out-of-state teams, so they won't really have like a quote-unquote fan base. But these are the type of games that by the time these kids leave, they've generated their own fan bases. And this is probably going to be a pro Jared McCain crowd by the time he leaves this event, most definitely. So that's the game I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, 100%. I think for me, I'm going to go local here. I think the Millbrook Holly Springs game, if we get that in the semifinals, has a chance to be a unique basketball environment. I don't know if have y'all ever been to a game at Holly Springs?
No.
They give Carmel a run for the money from a student section perspective. They go crazy for those boys, and we know Millbrook does the same. I think if both student bodies come in, there's obviously both teams are really good, have a lot of Division I talent. There's going to be a high-level game on the floor, and I think that the environment for that game will do an incredible job representing Wake County basketball, Raleigh basketball, in the kind of the specter that where it's belongs. That game belongs there.
Yeah, so you saying kind of like when Millbrook and Garner used to meet in the wall.
Yeah.
You have those two student sections with the wall crowd mix and the stars, and they get spicy.
It gets real spicy.
Right.
And even when Broughton played Millbrook, when Clemens had that put back dunk, I think Millbrook ended up losing.
Oh my God! I almost jumped off the second level.
I'm sure you did.
I almost jumped off the second level.
I think the last time we had it at Broughton, the only student section that really came out like that was Apex Friendship, but they were packing the upper deck and going crazy when they played the Patrick School. So whenever you can get high level talent on a local team, which we have both at Holly Springs and Millbrook, and they both have student body support, it creates a unique atmosphere, and I really hope we get that for the people. So what one thing, this will kind of be the wrap up, what is the one thing that you're most excited about in the 50th annual Holiday Invitational, John Wall Holiday Invitational? Simmons, will start with you.
One thing I'm most excited about?
Yeah, one thing, one moment, whatever it is, the one thing about this event that you're most excited to see.
To be honest, it ain't even gonna be mad extra crazy. I'm just so excited it's back at Bro.
Yeah.
It's the setting for me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Now the wall is really back.
Yep.
Right? To literally, it's crazy to think about I still have the pictures in my phone from the first time we were there, right? To like how we're set up right there in the corner for the perfect view, right? And now to see the line wrapped around the building. To be frustrated, I can't find a park because I got here 5 minutes later than I was supposed to.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the thing. That's the thing. The rush of going to the hospitality room and running back and getting the roster. Like for it to be at Bro, it's just a different feel, man. So honestly, it's like we back home. Like that's, but that alone that's enough for me, bro.
Yeah.
What you got?
I mean, he took the words right out of my mouth. It's a sense of normalcy. Just tournament. It went to another level when they moved it from Reynolds to Broughton. And last year, obviously we were fortunate to have it, being in the middle of a pandemic. We were very fortunate to have it. I'm glad that it went off the way it did, but it just didn't feel the same. So now to walk back in the Holiday Gymnasium and just look at the crowd and just how everybody's buzzing and everybody's there, like it almost gives you chills, man. Sometimes I find myself, I go back and look at pictures from the wall and I, just seeing just how, like, just the environment, just going back in my mind, just thinking about all the memories that we've created there. So I'm looking forward to that as well. So
for me, it is the first roar of the sold out crowd when someone does something crazy. The first time on that first night, second night, whenever it happens, when the crowd is brought to jubilation over something wild. That is when I think it's going to set in, like, we're back where we belong. And it's just crazy to think about it. It in a weird way feels like it's been 5 years. In a weird way it's felt like it's been 6 months. But the fact that it's back at Holiday Gymnasium where it belongs just makes us I think all of us that much more excited to get back there. But yeah, that's kind of what I think each of us are looking forward to.
And plus, I want to say this: it was a long walk to the hospitality room last year. I'm not even gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
oh yeah, that joint was crazy. Up the steps,
around the corner.
And they was really trying to be security, like they ain't know.
Yeah, like they didn't know
who he was.
We got a whole poster in here.
Yeah,
what you thought this was, baby?
Yeah, that was wild.
Program page 56. Come on.
Okay.
I don't even remember that's a page, but I'm just guessing.
I actually signed someone's book. Yeah, it was crazy. Yeah, they were like, it's this year.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm an employee.
All right. So if you haven't heard, it's back at Broughton. So I just want to remind everyone: December 27th through the 30th. All the games, like the whole bracket, like the full schedule, thejohnwall.com. Also, if you cannot make it, which we hate, but at the same time we got you covered, hoopstatelive.com for all the games. Me and Simmons will be on the call. Rod, maybe you put a headset on, maybe not. Just pop in for an appearance.
I think I might pop in.
We'll see you on game day every day.
I might.
We gotta get a velvet rope. I told him we gotta get velvet VIP rope by our little section up top.
Should we get like a mini red carpet?
Yeah, we gotta get velvet rope because Cassie, yo, I'm on air, bro.
No, literally.
What we got going, bro?
And the only way you're in the rope is if one of the people in this room right now.
Yeah, that's your.
Or Raymond too.
Raymond.
If Raymond says you can't go in the rope,
okay.
you might get thrown off the deck.
Yeah.
Literally thrown off the top rope. But man, any final thoughts? Or are we ready? I'm sure everyone's ready for the event, but is that it? We good?
Yeah, we're back.
12 days in counting.
Yeah.
The war back, man.
We appreciate y'all so much for tuning in. Appreciate Webb behind us on the ones and twos, and Donnie for helping us get set up. For Simmons, Rod, it's Miles. We'll see y'all soon. We'll actually see y'all December 27th through the 30th.
War back.